அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா நைந்தழி கனியா நலநிலை பதத்தில் நாடி உட்கொள்ளலம் அருணாச்சலா நொந்திடாதுன்றனை தந்தனை கொண்டிலை அந்த கனியன கருணாச்சலா நோக்கிய கருதிமை தாக்கிய பக்குவம் ஆக்கினியாடருள் அருணாச்சலா பற்றி மால்விஷம் தலை உற்றிரு முனமருள் பற்றிடருள் புரி அருணாச்சலா பார்த்தருண் ஆலர பார்த்திலை எனினருள் பாருனக்கார் சொல்வர் அருணாச்சலா பித்து விட்டுனை நேர் பித்தனாக்கினையருள் பித்தம் தெளி மருந்தருணாச்சலா பீதியில் உனை சார் பீதியில் என்னை சேர் பீதி உந்தனக்கேன் அருணாச்சலா புல்லறிவே தூரை நல்லறிவே தூரை புல்லிடவே அருள் அருணாச்சலா பூமணமாமனம் பூரணமணம் கொள பூரணமணமருள் அருணாச்சலா பெயர் நினைத்திடவே பிடித்திழுத்தனையும் பெருமையார் அறிவார் அருணாச்சலா பேய்த்தனம் விட விடா பேயா பிடித்தனை பேயனாக்கினையன் அருணாச்சலா பைங்கொடியானான் பற்றின்றி வாடாமல் பற்று கோடாய் அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ 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 அருணாச்சலா
ஹரி ஓம். உபாசகானாம் யதுபாசனீயம் உபாத்தவாசம் வடசாக்கிமூலே தத்தாமதாட்சிண்யஜுஷா ஸ்வமூர்த்யாம் ஜாகர்த்து சித்தே மம போதரூபம் அத்ராக்ஷம் அக்ஷீணதயாநிதானம் ஆச்சார்யமாத்யம் வடமூலபாगे மௌனேன மந்தஸ்மிதபூஷிதேன மஹர்ஷிலோகஸ்ய தமோனுதந்தம் विद्राविताशेषतमो गणेन मुद्राविशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनां निरस्यमायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महांस्तत्त्वमसीति बोधम् ममाद्यदेवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात्कृतसन्निधानः ओङ्काररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तमपाकरोतु विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरीतुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन् आत्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रयाम् यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय यतये शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तिदया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचम् इमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांशहस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्. Yesterday we saw the 73rd verse. The knowledge of the self, experience of the self. Atma Vidya. Bhagavan says is the simplest direct. Aye ati sulabham atma viddai. And the cause for the simplicity is its immediate availability as one's own self. It is more near than your own breath. Generally we say hastamalaka, kayilla kani, keeping a fruit in one's palm. It is more nearer than that. Kayyamalaka kani. Poyyayozhiya. Bhagavan says, anything other than the self becomes poi, unreal, falsehood. objective knowledge. In Tamil, they call it a Shuttarivu. Shuttarivu is poi. The knowledge that you have in your mind, you cannot believe. Katta arivu, shutta arivu. The knowledge which can be pointed out as an object outside, in the world, in the body, in the mind, in the brain. It all disappears in death, in deep sleep, in forgetfulness. Very great scholars in their old age even forgot their own name. Knowledge is so frail, so weak. Even the so-called mental experience also you cannot believe. It will come and go. Pokku varavu. Next song is that. It comes and goes. This is what they explored, the paravidya and aparavidya. Pullarivu, nallarivu. Bhagavan gave two names, Pullarivu, Nallarivu. That knowledge which is contactable. I don't know whether we can use like this. There are too many grammarians. Knowledge, Sanyogajanya Jnanam. I will tell in Sanskrit. Ehi samsparshaja bhogaha dukkayonaya evate adyantavantah kaunteya nateshu ramate buddhaha. There is a Sanskrit dialectics master who said, when you are in the meeting of literature people, quote grammar, when you are surrounded by grammarians, speak about Tarka Shastra, logics. So too, when there is Tamil scholars speak in Sanskrit. Okay, so contactable knowledge is Shuttarivu. Pullarivu, says Bhagavan. Pullarivu. Pulhi ariyakudiya jnanam. That knowledge which needs a contact. And Bhagavan says that cannot stand. Nallarivu. Nallarivu is the knowledge that is in yourself eternally. You need not even know it, you have to just recognize it. Here, now, this, me, as my own self. That is why the Upanishad says, till you realize God as the self, your God also is falsehood. It will go. Vidyade hridaya granthihi chidyande sarva samshayaha kshiyante cha asya karmani drishtayeva atmani ishvare. Bhagavata puts the Upanishad mantra in a different tone and says, when Ishvara is seen in the Atman, when God is realized in the self, then all the doubts are removed, knots of the heart are cut asunder, all the karma, actions, results are all erased. The person becomes free. So realizing that what we are seeking is myself. That is what they call vritti-vyapti and phala-vyapti. I know you don't understand. It means catching hold of something with the vritti means thoughts. See, every knowledge in the world is vritti-vyapyam. You can know it by the mind. Physics, chemistry. You know it? I know it. Then over. Hydrogen plus oxygen. What is it? Milk or water? It's water. Over. And Brahma-jnana is not like that. Once the mind turns towards that and recognizes it, then the result, the phala, is eternal. Once you know that it is a mysterious knowledge, you know that, then you find that it is eternally present from here to the eternal future, and it was present eternally in the past. So that experience of the self not only can change your life hereafter, it can delete the past also. Because whatever you have experienced in the past is nothing but the self. You name it as your past life, past events. They are all movies that have moved in the screen of pure consciousness. And the present is like that. Future will be like that. There is nothing happening. Bhuta bhavya bhavat prabhu. The past, the present, the future. It is all that pure awareness. So this sadhyo mukti, not jivan mukti, not videha mukti, sadhyo mukti, instantaneous liberation. You are that. What is in you is that Purna Vastu. When that recognition comes, one moment the I disappears and the I remains. அது என்ன தேவி காலோத்தரத்தில் வருமே, அகந்தை ஒழிந்து அகந்தை இருக்கிறது. The ego disappears, ego I disappears, but the I remains. Somebody has asked, what is that I am that I am? You have to experience it. When you see the I, you know that the I as the ego is unreal, and what remains there is I am. I don't know whether they are here. Somebody asked. Yes. The I am, in a dark room you sit. You are sure about your existence as I am. And that existence as I, in scripturally we call it Swayam Prakasha, self-effulgent. Like a lamp needs no other lamp to illuminate. So too consciousness needs nothing other than its own existence, because existence is effulgence. It is effulgence as I am. So that I am is not like anything else. See, I am seeing you. This is perception. Pratiti. If I close my eyes, I will not see you. Perhaps I can touch or I can hear your voice. But if those senses are not operating, the other cannot be recognized. My own body I can sense. But my existence as I, it is not physical. It is not sensory. Or it is not inference. Their existence shines forth as experience. I think it is simple. Sattva bhasika chitkva vetara sattayahi chit chittayahi aham. Upadesha saram. Sattva bhasika, that which illumines the sattvam, existence, is chit. It is pure consciousness. And that is I am, the aham. And the aham is experience, the I am is experience. You, Shankaracharya put it very simply in Brahma Sutra Bhashya. I is light, you is darkness. Only two things. I is light, you is darkness. Yushmad asmat pratyaya gocharayoho vishaya vishayinoho tamah prakashavat viruddha swabhavayoho itaretara bhava anupapattau siddhayamapi. We are confusing the object with the experience. The experience of I, the I am. It is pure consciousness. Actually, that alone is that. If you have to say something is God, you have to see God there. If you see God outside, it will disappear. If you have mental vision, it will disappear. But even in deep sleep, the I am is I am. Experientially, every day in deep sleep, the I am is I am. No I experiencing it. No mind experiencing it. No intellect, no body, no world. Their existence experiences itself. And it is a great discussion in Vedanta Shastra how you are able to recollect it when you wake up. When you wake up, you want to go back. Is it recollection? Is it inference? These are all discussions. And ultimately what they come to conclusion is, it is neither inference nor recollection. It is the continuation of the experience. That is why Bhagavan says, between the waking state and deep sleep, there is an interval where the self shines forth clearly. Where the I am is I am. No mixture of the mind, no mixture of the intellect, no mixture of the object. The awareness is purely objectless. Consciousness purged of thoughts shines forth as God. This is Bhagavan's words in talks. So the interval between the waking and the deep sleep, where the I am is I am. Even now the I am is I am. The moment you recognize it, it is realization. Because suddenly you recognize that the I in me is limitless. The appearance of bodily limitation, the appearance of mind limitation, the appearance of self-image, I floating there, it's all illusory. The screen is I, aham, I am. And Bhagavan says, I am is Arunachala. Hridi ahamiti nrityasi bhoho te vadanti hridayam nama. In the heart you dance. The dancing means it is only appearance of dance. There is no dance. It is actually the thoughts dancing, the mind dancing, the eye seems to dance. It is achalam. Tadejati, tannaijati, taddure, tadvantike, tadantarasya sarvasya, tadu sarvasyasya bāhyataha. The Upanishad says, he moves not, he moves. He is in great distance, he is the most intimate one. He is more intimate than anything that is near to you, within you as your own eye. In deep sleep, what is time? What is space? What is existence? Where is God? Where is world? Somebody asked Bhagavan, you speak about deep sleep, is it self-realization? Bhagavan said, it is the self. I will repeat it because the answer is like an explosion of enlightenment. The question is, Bhagavan, is deep sleep self-realization? Bhagavan said, it is the self. Sometimes I have wondered the way Shankaracharya and Ramana Bhagavan collide, merge into one another many places. In Bhashyam, in one place, Bhagavad-pada says, Atma iva suptisthanam. Says the deep sleep is Atma. That is why it is not enough. It is not enough because when the self alone is there, no suffering, no problem. You don't need the self-knowledge in deep sleep. What you need is recollection of that state, and the intellect absorbs that. Ajnana virodhi jnanam. The jnanam is so powerful that it will not allow the ignorance to remain there. You know that I am that self. You know that you don't need this body or mind to live. Every day that deep sleep state is giving you the teaching that devoid of the body, devoid of the mind, devoid of the so-called you, there is great well-beingness, auspiciousness, fullness in you. Don't know you recognize the value of this. Again we have to say, by sleeping you will not get it. So too by samadhi, by some having some special spiritual experience, sitting under some tree, getting some light. No. You have to recollect that knowledge and gather it. Buddhi grahya matindriyam. The intellect has to absorb it. The mind has to gather strength by that knowledge. Otherwise, that knowledge will not be useful in the waking state. For that only we again and again recollect it, think about it, meditate on it, absorb it. Experientially, you already have the experience of bodiless existence, egoless existence. What you lack is only knowledge, not experience. We think we have knowledge, not experience. Actually, that is not true. We lack knowledge, not experience. Our knowledge is not strong enough to assert the experience. Atma Jnana is needed. Atma Anubhava is not needed. Atma Anubhava is already there. Anubhava Swarupa. Atma is Anubhava Swarupa. Anubhuti is the nature of the self. You already have it. What is lacking is recognizing it, contemplating it, absorbing it, living by it every moment. It becomes a strength in your very awareness. That is what Bhagavan here says, Arunachala, you gave me that knowledge in a moment. And my ego sense was removed. Removed means what? It means the knowledge arose that the I thought, the so-called Jiva Bhava is unreal. And what is real is my real nature. In Bodham, Unbodham. Not this I, but you. The I am in me is not the I thought, it is not Jiva. It is me as the infinite, the Purna. That was revealed to me. And that revelation stayed with Bhagavan. That is important. Many people say, we had this experience, that experience. It's all well and good. Provided it stays with you. Sthita prajna, as Krishna says in Gita, Sthita prajna. The experience is stable. The knowledge is stable. The knowledge is so powerful that symptoms of ignorance disappears. All the signs of an illumined soul shines forth. One of the signs which Gita says is, even if the greatest sorrow visits you, you are not shaken from your nature. Yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. Tam vidyad, know that to be realization. Tam vidyad, dukkha sanyoga viyogam. You are permanently disassociated with suffering. The so-called assumed association, affinity to suffering is cut off. Tam vidyad dukkha sanyoga viyogam yoga samjitam. Krishna says that is yogam. That is yoga, not this standing head downward and feet upward. That is what already we are doing. Topsy-turvy existence. Bhagavan says, what is yoga? That which pulls you out of the mire of sorrow, suffering. Dukkha sanyoga viyogam. Dukkha sanyoga you already have. You are already associated with dukkha. Now you have to leave it and come back. You should be rescued. That is why you need somebody from outside. One person was standing on a river bank. The water was rushing. It was Rishikesh, one sadhu. And it is very cold. He found that in the river, in the flow of river, there was a good blanket. Kambal. Oh, that will be very useful here. So he jumped into the river and caught hold of it. And then started screaming, rescue me, bachao, bachao. Those who were standing on the bank, they said, you only jumped and caught hold of it. Leave it and come. I said, I have already left it. Now it is not leaving me. It was a beer. He thought that it is a kambal. Even this example is given in many languages. Even in Kerala we used to say, Vittalam vidalya kambali kattam. You thought it is blanket, but it is a bear. You went and caught hold of it, then it catches hold of you, now it is not living. So to release yourself from suffering is yoga. And Vedanta says assumed association with suffering, not real association. Every day the deep sleep state is giving you the message that really you are not associated with suffering. Really your nature is free. Actually your nature is free. Actually the I am is already I am. Nothing else in it. In it you have superimposed I am a man, I am a woman. I am an Indian, I am an American, I am this, I am white, I am black. Good person, bad person, fat, slim. All these are superimposed on that pure I am. When you recognize the I am as that I am, you wake up from this stream of current of dreams. The dreams will continue, but you know that it is unreal. Then you depend upon self-knowledge, not experience. Self-knowledge. Experience is eternal. Experience is eternal. You worship that experience with knowledge. You revere that experience with knowledge. You do puja of that experience with knowledge. Then great strength comes. You see, Buddha in his Majjhima Nikaya, I was going through it, in one place he says, I have got that knowledge and I am roaring. I am not roaring alone, I am roaring in the public that I have got it. So this knowledge is so powerful. Vidyaya vindate amritam. Viryam. Atmana vindate viryam. From that knowledge of the self, true vigor comes. Strength comes. Power comes. Fearlessness comes. That is very important, because what life does is, it just roots out the tree of strength. Dhairya druma dvamsini. As Bhartrhari, a great yogi, says, this river of desire will root out the big tree of courage. Asha nama nadi. Very beautiful verse. Asha nama nadi. Manoratha jala. Trishna taranga kulam. Ragagrahavati vitarka vihaga. Dhairya drumadvamsini. Mohavarta sudustarati gahana protunga chintatati. Tasyaha paragataha vishuddhamanasaha nandanti yogishvaraha. Those yogishvaras who has crossed this river, they really find bliss. Nandanti yogishvaraha. Asha nama nadi. This river, what is its name? Its name is Asha, desire. When one day I told this, one lady came and said, I feel very sad that my parents has given me the name Asha. told, let it be Asha for Ishvara. Because Shiva is also called Asheshwara. So for Asha, for Shiva. Asha Nama Nadi. And what is water in it? Manoratha, imagination, brooding, dreaming. Manoratha Jala. Trishna, craving, like waves after waves of craving arise. Trishna, Taranga, Kulam. And there are very dangerous creatures inside, crocodile. Raga means attachment. Raga Grahavati. And very often some birds come and stay there. Doubts. Vitarka. Self-defeating logic. Vitarka Vihaga. And what does this river do? It completely roots out, pulls the root of the tree called courage. You need courage to live. That is rooted out. Because of desire, because of instability of mind. So when you have that Bōdat-taik kāṭ-tinai Arunachala, you know that your self is Shiva. Your self is eternally free, immortal. Your self is Ananda Swarupa. Your self is birthless, deathless, Purna. When that knowledge gains power, that is real victory in life. That knowledge is so powerful that no more invasion of ignorance is possible. The problem is with our knowledge, in satsanga it is all okay. Everyone looks like Buddha, sitting like this. You go out, a simple rat is enough to rattle my courage. Dhairya is gone. Fear comes in, psychologically it affects us. With various reasonings. We find reasoning to be afraid. See, I am not actually afraid, but if it is like this, I will not be afraid. But as it is not like this, what to do? Then the listener should, like a lizard, we usually say lizard, then he feels happy. Sympathy seeking. Life is not at all sympathizing with our ignorance, anyone's ignorance. It just runs like a electric train, bullet train. Not at all waiting for any good person or bad person. Nothing has any value actually. Even your so-called religiosity. People say that we are very religious. Why we are suffering? You will suffer. The more you religious you are, the more devout you are, you will suffer more intensely. You will suffer. A person who do not have belief will not suffer like you. But who is a devotee of Bhagavan, Bhagavan says in Bhagavatam, if he is a devotee, I will make him suffer, put him in the cauldron of fire. I will close the door of dharma, artha and kama. Let him dare to walk the path of moksha, renunciation, sacrifice. If he dares to do that, he is a devotee. All his puja, all his achara, all his orthodoxy, it is all like a buffoon joke. for Ishvara. Kali-kritam, as Yoga Vasishta says. Like made a joker. All becomes worthless. These are all very strong statements. If I tell these things, people might question. That is why I am telling it is there in Bhagavad. Yasya anugraham ichchami. I will also quote. If I want to bless a devotee, tasya vittam haramyaham tadvisho vidhunomyaham. He says, I will break all that he is holding on to. Whatever he is holding on to, I will break. So that his ego will break. He says, tad vadhat praninam vadha. In whatever you have pride, when it is destroyed, your pride is also destroyed. You can see children, in one house, I was staying long back. And that was the time when the TV was becoming very popular, television. So the family people, they were all looking at the television. The child was very often coming and calling the mother. And mother was not responding. At last he took a stick and was hitting the television. Because she was not paying attention to him. And the grandfather who was sitting with me, he laughed and told, I wanted to do that. He is doing it very well. So anything attracted to anything by which you ignore Bhagavan, Bhagavan says, I will break it, I will destroy it. This explains for all sorrows in life. All troubles in life. And what is the solution? What is he asking us to do? He is asking us to live. The story is one bakery, sweet shop. And there was in a bottle lot of chocolates. And a monkey was looking at it. And one day the monkey, what it did, it opened the bottle and put its fist inside, caught hold of the chocolate. But with the fist closed, it cannot take the hand out. But if it leaves the chocolate, it can take the hand out. That was the space of the bottle. So it caught hold of the chocolate. And by the time the shopkeeper came, took a stick and was hitting the monkey, it was neither was ready to leave it and take the hand, nor could it bear the beating. At last, when it became unendurable, it just left it and took the hand. This is the message. Tayumanavar says in Tamil, one person was cutting wood. After cutting, breaking it, they will put another piece of wood inside. In Tamil, they will say up. Wedge. Wedge, yes. They will put that. So, so this monkey, you know what it did? It put its leg inside, feet inside, and pulled that wedge out. காலதனை நுழைத்து விட்டு ஆப்பதனை அசைத்து விட்ட குரங்கதனை போல அகப்பட்டீரே கிடந்து உழல அகப்பட்டீரே. The Tamil is very powerful. Says, like the monkey squeezing its leg inside and pulling out the wedge by its own hand. Like that, you have entered the samsara and created a trouble for yourself like this monkey. And now you weep. So, this is the ultimate tapasya. The greatest austerity is renunciation. Tyaga. And the real tyaga is knowledge of the self. When one knows that the self alone is real, God alone is real, then the tyaga comes. And that moment one recognizes, realizes that Atmaiva Brahma. That is Arunachala Aksharamanamalai message. The last song Bhagavan says, Vedantate Veru Aravilangum Veda Purul. Purul means essence. Veda Purul means the essential teaching of Vedas. And what is the essential teaching of Vedas? Veru Aravilangum. What you are seeking, that truth is not separate from you. It is not in any distance from you. It is in you as yourself, as your very being. This is Veda Anta, end of knowledge. Completion of knowledge. Fulfillment of knowledge. This is the Arunachala teaching. And this Bhagavan says, Arunachala gave me like a podu-veļi. One moment, he removed my I thought, all the jiva bhava that I was considering as real. Everything was removed and revealed to me that Shiva. One moment I recognized, in one trice I recognized that I is not real. It is Shiva. It is Ishvara. It is Brahma. And that recognition is permanent. It is not something which comes and goes. Pōkku varavu, no coming and going. Pōkku means going. Varavu means coming. This is the next song. Pōkkum varavu-mil podu-veļi yinil-aru Pōrātam kāṭ Arunachala. Arul Pōrātam. This Pōrātam means battle, fight. And what is the fight between? Fight is between my ego and his grace. My ignorance and true knowledge. This is the fight. True knowledge you get. In satsanga you are getting. But life is putting forth ignorance before you. It demands ignorance. Without ignorance, you cannot live. With pure gold, you cannot make an ornament. Every step you have to compromise. And compromise makes you suffer. And when you have to find freedom, peace, you have to assert the knowledge. On the face of suffering, you have to assert knowledge. And when you have to assert knowledge, sometimes your knowledge wins, sometimes ignorance wins. Right, our experience is like that. Sometimes ignorance wins. We know we failed. That itself is a great thing. When you know that you have failed, your satsanga wins. Vidyaranya says, The only difference between a person who is fortunate to have got satsanga and one who has not got it is that the person knows wherever he slips, he knows he has slipped. The other person does not know that. He is ready happily to go down the drain. But here he recognizes, here I slipped. So whenever ignorance invades, you assert your knowledge asserts itself. And this is Arul Pōrātam. This is the battle between ignorance and knowledge. Whole life is like that. It is a battle between ignorance and knowledge. If you want to study Bhagavan's life, you study Bhagavan's life like that. Every moment. Some devotees will present their ignorance to Bhagavan. Mercilessly he will walk over it. Many, many moments. Never cared for the ignorance. Wherever there is a compromise, there will be suffering. So, pōkku varavu-illa, no coming and going. Podu-veļi. Podu-veļi means the infinite space. The space which is for all. The infinity, the bhuma, the ananda, the ananta. Every experience in life forces you, compels you to identify yourself with a cloud. True knowledge tells you, you are not the cloud, you are the sky. You are the space. The challenge is whether to identify with the cloud or to recognize yourself as the space behind. Bhagavan says, podu-veļi. Recognize yourself as the veļi, as the space, as the chidakasha. And life experiences will come and force themselves on you, compelling you to believe them. Something is happening to you. That is the whole thing. Hypnosis. Constantly telling, cry, laugh, react. Something is happening. And you tell, no, nothing is happening. Only that screen alone is no movie. In our village, there was only one theatre, and formerly the theatre screen will be made of cloth. And all famous Tamil movies will come to Kerala. Nobody will see Malayalam movies in those days. All very sorrow movies. So in one movie, the hero lost his knife. He was fighting with the villain. He lost his knife. And people who are sitting near the screen, those who pay lot of money will sit away from the screen. So those who sit near the screen will be very poor people. They will be sometimes having dagger also. So the hero lost the screen. One person took a dagger and threw it at the screen. The screen was torn apart. And till I remember, because I have not seen cinema movie in a theater for long years. So it is about my childhood. Whatever period I remember seeing that screen stitched. This is how we react to life also. Something is happening. Throw dagger at the screen. It will not hit the villain. It will not help the hero. What exists is the screen. Nothing is happening there. That is what Bhagavan says, Arul Pōrātam podu-veļi. That podu-veļi, one moment, see, the problem is unless you identify with the movie, there is no purpose sitting there. But if you identify with the movie, this problem comes, throwing dagger. Once it also happened. One old man in our village, their grandchildren, they only told, we wanted to show our Tata one cinema. He was a very devout person, doing all 3 times all his rituals, Sandhya Vandana, everything. Very devoted person, very scholarly person. So he never saw, in those days, no mobile, no television, nothing. So they wanted to show him a movie. So they selected one good movie and took him, the whole family, because he was a very affectionate person, they took him to the movie. In between the movie, he said he wanted to go to the toilet, so they said, you can go here. From toilet, he walked home. They searched for him, then they found out that somebody told that Swami went away. So when night they came home, they asked what happened. He said, I just forgot. In fact, he said, what is there in it to see? It was uninteresting. I have no interest in that. What will I do there? And it is so stuffy also inside. Better go home and do my daily reading of Bhagavatam. That is what he did. He went away. So the moment intelligence is dangerous in worldly life, because the moment true knowledge arises, the person walks out. So entertainment needs ignorance. All pleasure, pain, everything comes with that. So this kind of conflict between ignorance and true knowledge, or you can call grace of Bhagavan and our suffering, the ego. One devotee of Bhagavan, he told, I wanted to win Bhagavan, but I was vanquished. In that failure was my victory. When I failed, that was my victory. That is N.R. Krishnamurti Iyer, because he wanted to argue with Bhagavan. When he came to Bhagavan first, he asked, Swami, now you are in a state. When you die, what will happen? He expected Bhagavan to say that I will take birth or I will not take birth. And I will prove to him that there is nothing beyond the body. But Bhagavan did not answer. He kept quiet. After some few minutes, Bhagavan looked at him and asked, you said state. What do you mean by that? Because that professor, he said, I never expected such a counter question. It was like a bombshell breaking underneath. Bhagavan asked, you said state. If I tell it is the state of the body, I know that it will die here, it will be burnt. But if I say something within, then I have to accept it. Now, if I say mind, he will ask what is mind. I have to answer. Then he was inquiring inside what is mind, what is mind. And Bhagavan was looking at him. Inside he was looking what is mind, and Bhagavan was looking at him. I feel this incident happened right under the big tree in ashram. When you enter there, that Ilpai Maram. And that moment, he had the experience of the highest. And there he wrote, I came to defeat Bhagavan. But I was completely defeated. And in that was my great success. I became a lifetime slave to him. So this coming and going business in spiritual life, all kind of experience come and go. Till you recognize what you are seeking as your very being, this coming and going will continue. Adridakjnanam. A profound peace is experienced. It also, if it goes, it is not real peace. Vyaja shanti. True shanti is when you recognize that your very being is shanta. Upashanto yamatma. Atma is shanti. The very nature is shanti. Self is shanti. When you recognize that shanti, it never leaves you. It is the source, the adhisthana, the substratum. It is Shiva. And that Bhagavan calls as the infinite space, podu-veļi, Chidambaram. Called Chidambaram. Ambara means Akasha, space. Chidambaram means the Akash of pure consciousness. Vinnadiya vilakkum, kannadiya porikkum, kannam mana kannukkum, kannam mana vinnukkum, vinnam வேறு ஒரு பொருள் எண்ணாது இருந்தபடி உள்நாடு உளத்து ஒளிரும் அண்ணாமலை என் ஆன்மா. That which illumines everything is the inner space, it is the self, and that is Arunachala, that is Atma, that is Annamalai. And that is realized when the thoughts subside. என் அலை இரும் என்று அருணாச்சல நுண்ணுரு உனை ஆன் விண்ணுரு நன்னிட. To recognize you as the infinite space, the thoughts have to subside. The thoughts should subside, quieten. Then the infinitude is there as my very being, as my very existence. To recognize that very existence, the very I am, the very nature of the I as infinite. How to experience it? Let the thoughts subside. Be still. Then you will know the I am. What the I am is, you will recognize when the surface disturbance is not, when there is stillness, Nischala Tattva. When there is that Nischalata, the space inside shines forth as the space of pure awareness, Chidambaram. That is Pökkum varavu-mil podu-veļi. That space neither comes nor goes. There is no coming, going there. When that realization happens, it is for eternity. It will no more go. As the Vedic mantra goes, once the sun rises in that horizon, it never sets again. Sakrit vibhadoyam brahmalokaha. Once it arises, then it never sets. Actually, it is not arising. The veil is removed. The covering is removed. Then you recognize that it is shining. It is self-luminous, Swayam Prakasha. The avarana is removed. Niravarana, which we call nirvana. The niravarana is nirvana. And nirvana is our very swarupa. It is our very nature. What is I am is nirvana. Existence is nirvana. That which is nirvana. And that nirvana means dense, profound peace, shanti. Where there is no creation, no destruction, no coming, no going. It is purna, whole. It is achala, still. And it is knowable, hence very gentle, knowable light is Aruna. That is Arunachala. And when that very gentle knowledge comes, Arunodaya comes about the Achala Tattva, then ends all conflict, Pōrāt. Then what remains is podu-veļi, that infinite Akasha, all-pervasive, supreme expanse of pure consciousness. Then freedom from going and coming, varavu. One who is established in that, no more going and coming. This is the 74th song in Aksharamanamalai. And the next song, Baudigamam udal pattratru Nalumun Bhavishu Kandura Arul Arunachala. Let me behold your effulgence, Arunachala. Unceasingly behold. Nalum, always, all time. Pattu atru, let me be free of all attachment. Especially Baudigamam udal pattu atru. Let me be free of this attachment to this body, this body identity. All suffering comes from this body identity. Let me be free of that. This is the next song. So this is for today. Tomorrow we will continue. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Yato mamatma bhavasi tvameva tato na vachyam mama kinchidasti yatha taveshtam kuru mam tathaiva tvam atmanatham ramanam bhaja.